on common nouns, you were asked to underline the things and animals in the following sentences. You were made to understand that common nouns are names of things, animals, and places, and we limited ourselves to names of things and animals. I gave you examples and told you that whenever you are writing a name of a common noun, you begin with a small letter. So you are going to underline common nouns in these sentences. So 1, the dog is barking, and our answer is dog. 2, it is missing from my bag, and the answer is bag. 3, Elizabeth is eating ice cream. The answer is ice cream. 4, I am sitting on a tree, and we have tree as our answer. 5, the birds are flying around. The answer is birds. And lastly, Peter is eating bananas. We have bananas as the answer. I hope that you were able to get all correct. Well done if you were able to get all. Now let's go back to our today's lesson. I said we are still on nouns, and under nouns for today we are looking at collective nouns. So by the end of the lesson, you will be able to identify collective nouns and use them in sentences. At the end of today's lesson, you are to identify collective nouns and use them in sentences. What are collective nouns? These are names given to a group of people, animals, or things of the same kind. Collective nouns are names given to a group of people, animals, or things of the same kind. So collective nouns, we consider people, different people, or some group of people, and then animals, animals of the same kind, then things of the same kind that are put together as one unit. That is what we are looking at today. Let's take some examples of some collective nouns. So look at the picture here. So we have swarm of bees, swarm. These are bees. Many of them together, we call them swarm, swarm. These are people singing. It is not one person singing. They are many as a group, and we call them choir. Choir. Do you have a choir in your church? Do you have a choir in your school? Yes. So far as they are not individuals and they are different people coming together as a group to sing, we call them choir, choir of singers. Let's take another example. What do you see here? You find many books, different books, different colors, different sizes, all together. We call it library. Library. Do you have a library in your school? Do you go there to read books? So in the library, we have different kinds of books. We have different colors of books. So many books. Together, we call them library of books. So we call this flock, flock of sheep. If it is one sheep, But when they are many, when they are in a group, or when they are moving together, we call it flock. So, flock of sheep. Do you understand? All right. Let's take more examples. Do you have teachers in your school? Can you count them? How many teachers are in your school? So teachers in your school together are called staff. Staff. Teachers, all the teachers in your school, when we put all of them together, they are called staff. Now these are flowers. These are flowers. We have different colors, different shape, and different flowers. All put together as one, we call it bouquet. Say it after me. Bouquet. Bouquet. Very good. So different flowers put together are called bouquet of flowers. It is called bouquet of flowers. These are players, football players. How many people play football? You know the number of people that play football. Good. So all footballers together to form one group. We call it team of footballers. Team of footballers. So you can have two different groups. You can have many groups of footballers. One person cannot be called a team. One person cannot make a team. Different people come together, some playing number 5, some number 6 or whatever. I don't know much about football. But when they are together, we call them a team. Now these are keys on a holder. When it is one, you call it a key. But when there are many on a holder, we call it bunch of keys. Say that after me. Bunch of keys. They are called bunch. Bunch of keys. So with these examples that I've given you, can you also give me examples of some collective nouns? I want you to put it down and show it to your mother or your father or whoever you are sitting with. Give me just two examples of collective noun. Then you show it to them. I am not there to check for you. So if your parents are there, show it to them. If only they are following our lesson. Right. I hope you were able to give some examples and your parents are telling you that you are right. Let me give you a few examples more. This is a block. When you have many of them, you can have 3, 4, you can have 5. Together, we call it block of flat. Block of flat. Block of flat. Now, these are beads. Beads. Different sizes put together to make a necklace. So, different sizes of beads together, we call it estrange. 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 Do you understand? Very good. Let's go back and go through them again. What is this? Swarm. Swarm of bees. Swarm. Choir. Choir of what? Singers. Choir of singers. These are books. All together, we call it library. So library of books. Library of books. These are sheep. They are moving together. They are of the same kind. We call it flock. Flock. Staff. Staff of what? Teachers. Staff of teachers. And these are flowers all together as one. We call it bouquet. 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 Football players in a group. You can see it, the way they have taken the picture, it is not an individual. They are a group of players. We call them team. Team. Bunch. Bunch. Flats. Many of them, we call it block. Block. Block of flats. And then string. String of beads. String of beads. All right. Now we are going to take some examples of these collective nouns in sentences. Are you ready? Let's go. Sentence 1. She ate a bunch of bananas today. She ate a bunch of bananas today. Look at it carefully. What is the collective noun in this sentence? Bunch. Bunch. She ate a bunch of bananas today. So bunch is the collective noun in this sentence. Let's take another one. The students were attacked by a swarm of bees. The students were attacked by a swarm of bees. What is the collective noun in this sentence? The answer is swarm. Swarm. The students were attacked by a swarm of bees. Our answer is swarm. Swarm. 3. I bought a new pair of shoes for my father. I bought a new pair of shoes for my father. What do you think will be the collective noun in this sentence? All right. So we have pair. Pair. Pair of shoes. I bought a new pair of shoes for my father. Example 4. A troop of dancers were at the Deba grounds. A troop of dancers were at the Deba grounds. What will be the answer? troop. Troop. The answer is troop. Number 5. A flock of sheep destroyed my farm produce. A flock of sheep destroyed my farm produce. What is the collective noun in this sentence? The answer is flock. Flock. My dog has a new litter of puppies. My dog has a new litter of puppies. What is the collective noun here? I hope your answer is litter. Litter, very good. Sentence 7. Try to read and give the answer. All right. She is buying a bouquet of flowers from the shop. She is buying a bouquet of flowers from the shop. And the answer is bouquet of flowers. Bouquet of flowers. Number 8. We enjoyed the music played by a band of musicians. We enjoyed the music played by a band of musicians. The answer is band. Band. We enjoyed the music played by a band of musicians. Number 9. A class of students were on the field working. A class of students were on the field working. What will be the answer? Class. The answer is class. A class of students were on the field working. And the last one, the army of soldiers chased the robbers. The army of soldiers chased the robbers. What is the correct answer to this? The answer is the army. 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 The army of soldiers chased the robbers. Very good. I hope you understand. I hope you have gotten few of these collective nouns. At your leisure time, you can look for more. Now I am going to give you a passage. And in this passage, you are going to identify the collective nouns in them. When you are done, you show it to your parents or your friend. Okay, so this is it. We are going to read it together, and after that, I will leave it for you to answer them. Let's go. Julie was in a fleet of cars that came to the 60th Independence Day anniversary held at Cape Coast Stadium. When she got there, she met an army of soldiers marching past on the field. The place was well decorated. There was a bouquet of flowers on the chairman's table. She also saw a crowd of students who had lined up. There were a troupe of dancers, a band of musicians, and a staff of teachers, all dressed in their uniforms to grace the occasion. Let's take it again. Julie was in a fleet of cars that came to the 60th Independence Day anniversary held at Cape Coast Stadium. When she got there, she met an army of soldiers marching past on the field. The place was well decorated. There was a bouquet of flowers on the chairman's table. She also saw a crowd of students who had lined up. There were a troupe of dancers, a band of musicians, and a staff of teachers, all dressed in their uniforms to grace the occasion. All right, learners, I will give you a few minutes. Write down the collective nouns in this passage for me. Your time starts now. All right, learners, I hope you are done. Now let's do it together. Julie was in a fleet of cars that came to the 60th Independence Day anniversary held at Cape Coast Stadium. In this first sentence, do you see any collective noun? Good. And that is fleet. If we're able to write fleet, you are correct. Is there any? No. Let's move to the next sentence. When she got there, she met an army of soldiers marching past on the field. Is there any collective noun in this sentence? Yes. And that is army. Army. I think that is all. Let's move to the next one. The place was well decorated. The place was well decorated. Is there any collective noun in this sentence? No, I am not sure. There's no collective noun in this particular sentence. Now let's move on. There was a bouquet of flowers on the chairman's table. Is there any? Yes. And that is bouquet. bouquet. Very good. Let's move on. She also saw a crowd of students who had lined up. There should be a collective noun in this sentence. And that is, you are right, crowd, crowd, crowd of students. There were a troupe of dancers, a band of musicians, and a staff of teachers, all dressed in their uniforms to grace the occasion. What are the collective nouns in this sentence? So we have troupe, that is not all. We also have band. Is there any? Yes. We also have staff. So we have troupe of dancers, a band of musicians, and a staff of teachers, all dressed in their uniforms to grace the occasion. Learners, I hope you followed this lesson and that you understood every bit of it. This is for you alone. So let's go through. After that, I'll give you some time to copy. Fill in the blanks with the following words in the brackets. Fill in the blanks with the following words in the brackets. So in this bracket are some collective nouns. You are going to use them to fill in the blanks. Do you understand? All right. So 1, the farmer was chased away by a dash of bees. 2, my mother bought a dash of flowers for the children. 3, the dash of students is in the bus. 4, a dash of sheep was grazing on the field. 5, the dash of soldiers arrested the armed robbers. So these 5 are for you. Please take your time, copy it. All right, learners. So this brings us to the end of today's lesson. Until I come your way again next time, it is bye for now.